Hi, I am Magical Mimi with my twin sister,
the Divine Krysanthe Mama.
And Grandpa George said he really wanted to do a tarot reading about the breakup of the year, y'all. So he specifically wanted me to use my Botanica deck, which is this beautiful deck here. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to ask him some questions and shuffle these cards and see what else he wants to say, because if you're seeing this video, maybe you saw the pendulum videos where we asked him and our Grammy some questions and they answered, but Grandpa George really wanted to give more information with this tarot deck. So let's see what he has to say. And what's interesting about this deck is that the flowers and then the symbols on the flowers also have meaning. So Grandpa George, can you tell us more about the state of mind of muskrats right now? What's his state of mind? So we have the Three of Coins in reverse. So that is the saffron crocus, actually. In reverse, it represents lack of focus, stagnation, or inertia, or ennui. You remember ennui from the Disney, no, Pixar
Inside
movie?
Out.
Inside Out, yeah. So he's feeling a little ennui right now. So the saffron is the filament of the crocus and is the world's most expensive piece of spice. Sorry, the most expensive spice, and he's like the world's wealthiest man. Yeah, and he's he's not doing good. No, he's not. Yeah, the coin on here is also a Persian coin as well, but I do think it's interesting.
Oh, read what that says. The Persians took a special interest in the purple flower and cultivated it into what is still used today. This is why the coins on this card are Persian derricks, which is interesting too, because of a recent extravagant gift that came from a region connected to Persia.
This card also aligns with previous predictions that I made in December and all of January about this relationship and what was going to happen to Muskrat. And it's currently happening. And here we are with the world's most expensive spice representing the world's richest man and his downfall. So there's that. Okay, Grandpa George, what is Orange Man's state of mind right now? Oh, that one kind of wanted to come out, but didn't. So let's see. Anything else? And then we'll look at that one and see what that was. Popped out, but kind of went back in. It's like, I don't know. Okay. It is that card. What is it? The Page of Wands in reverse. So that's fun.
It came out in reverse.
The Sacred Fig, actually.
Oh, the fig, yeah.
And in reverse, this represents bad news, capriciousness, and lost opportunities.
Well, yeah. I mean, definitely a lot of bad news that he's been fielding.
Yeah, absolutely. This plant is associated with Buddha's enlightenment, so it's in reverse. So obviously, Orange Man's not enlightened, and it's gonna be gone. Yeah, soon. All right, Grandpa George, what happens next? All right, cool.
Got it.
We have the King of Cups, and it's sideways, and which means it's both. So let's see, King of Cups here. So that plant is the Centauri. So this flower is named for the immortal centaur Chiron from Greek mythology, and Homer called the wisest and justest of all the centaurs. And Chiron is also known as the wounded healer. So like where your Chiron is located, deals with like past life trauma and what you have to heal. Definitely gonna have to look up what their Chirons are now, because that's interesting. That this came out sideways. So the upright meaning of this is someone who's wise and good with words, sensitive and in touch with nature, with interest in many fields of learning, and has a healing touch. The reverse is a deviant, powerful, but duplicitous person. Calm surface hides a raging sea beneath. That is actually reminding me of what JFK told us in the channeling that we did on Saturday about what is going to happen when the orange expires and all the other oranges in the cabinet are thrown out because they're bad, and who is going to be coming back. That's been like maybe just biding their time. So that represents both of them.
Yeah, but I think also, you know, we asked like what is going to happen next, and this came out, and in the description it also says that Chiron is a renowned healer, an oracle, a sage teacher. The symbol is a golden laurel circlet, like those given to heroes of the time. So I think this is representing also that, yes, to everything and how it represents the two of them, but how does this change things for us going forward? And I think we're going to be leaning more into our spirituality and balancing that with our humanity as well. So
yeah,
let's pull another card for some clarity on what this all means.
Okay, Grandpa George, how is all of this going to help the world? Okay. Ooh, okay. So we have a major arcana, and then we have the 9 of swords that was underneath. So that was in reverse, actually. So that's the water iris, and in reverse it represents vulnerability, a breach in one's defenses, and corruption. So temperance is balance in all things and purification of the soul. It's a card about going with the flow and equalizing the consumption and release of energy. Water irises exist between land and water, growing in the muddy banks of rivers. This benefits both environments. The roots create a filter and help prevent erosion. So water iris is a lot like a lotus.
It is, and the preventing of erosion is something that willow trees do, and those plants that we saw, mangroves, do the same thing.
Yeah.
So this symbolically, I think what it's saying to us is that this ending of this relationship is going to prevent any further eroding of our spirituality and of our humanity. Yeah. It's going to lead to restoration. You know what else is interesting too is about this being a water iris is Iris is a Greek goddess, and she is the Greek goddess of rainbows. Nice. And so I'm envisioning, as soon as this came out, it was like the first thing that I thought of. And, you know, not only is it Pride Month and rainbow is the symbol, but it also is a symbol of hope. It's, what do you always find at the end of a rainbow? You know,
pot of gold.
Exactly.
So interesting that you said that. So even though this was reversed, it was covering up what was underneath, which is the 9 of swords. It's a poppy, but this represents pain, oppression, a heavy burden, suffering, and grief. So it's basically reversing corruption and oppression and grief. Poppies, while they represent sleep, they are actually a symbol of the Greek goddess Demeter. So I love that came out. Yes. I love poppies so much. So the white seeds were added to like almond milk to induce a deep, restful sleep. But it's very easily misused. So I think this being on top of that is saying like that oppression and that abuse of power is going to be uncovered and it's going to be stopped. But let's get another clarifying card to make sure that we're right. How is this going to benefit the world? Okay.
Well, while you look that up, I just want to say something about poppies. Before a poppy blooms, it always hangs its head. And so that's how we collectively have been feeling in this country, across the world, because of this one man and this other man who have done some terrible, terrible things. And we have been hanging our head, and now we are going to bloom.
So this card here is the Queen of Swords, and that's the red oleander. And on this it's the sacred Durga, the powerful goddess imbued with the weapons of the entire Hindu pantheon. The symbol is Durga's Kiritamukta. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. With lotus and inlaid pearls. So I've actually gotten this card before in the Divinity Chronicles podcast.
Yes,
I pulled this card, and this card represents the Lotus Queen.
It does, but I think we also got this when we were talking about one of the past lives and the timely or untimely ending of that past life and the destruction that they have caused.
Is there anything else you want to say, Grandpa George? Does the future for the United States look positive or not?
Go with the bottom of the deck.
Yeah, the moon.
It's a beautiful card.
That is the Queen of the Night plant. So where the star is all about quiet enlightenment, the knowledge of the moon is draped in shadows. It represents the power of imagination, the strength of subtlety. This cactus blooms for a single night, glowing in the desert and beckoning moths and bats with a heavy perfume. Like the moon itself, its power is fleeting, but its pull is immense. So this card is all about illumination, changing tides,
dreams, it said.
Dreams, intuition. So I'm getting the sense that this card is saying that everything that those of us in the 4 a.m. club have been knowing since early November after a contest, and what we've been saying, that it was supposed to happen, but ultimately, like, that's set in stone and you can't outrun destiny. They've delayed it, but the bill's coming due and they're about to pay up.
Yeah. And I think too the symbolism of this flower that is really rare. It's almost like a once in a lifetime, once in a generation, once in several millennia type of bloom that is happening, and that's definitely what this really feels like. Yeah, and I think it's this symbol of, like, it blooms in a desert, right? In a desert representing, like, starvation, lethargy.
Yeah.
And that's how we have felt. We have been left without a lot of the things that we need in order to thrive in this world and even survive in a lot of cases. And then this bloom comes about when you least expect it, and it's magical and it's beautiful and it's one of a kind and it's rare. And
yeah, so underneath this card is the 3 of Wands, And this is it's in the reverse, thank you. So this is about deception and like betrayal, and so like basically this is uncovering it. And I think that's really quite interesting. And then the card that was under it is the Page of Swords, which this is a mandrake, and this represents someone with good with people, a young charismatic person. And this plant, which may have been used by Circe in her transformation magic, it's mentioned in the Bible as an ingredient for love-filled trees, and frequently grows in sensual humanoid shaped roots. And it's the symbol of Dionysus, actually.
Celebration.
Celebration.
Celebration. Yes. Our humanness actually, you know, being rooted on this earth, and you know, just all good things are coming. Keep holding the light. Keep celebrating the joy in everything that is happening right now collectively and in your own life. Celebrate every tiny little joyful moment that you have. Hold the light. So yeah, I think all of this is telling us in more confirmation that what has happened in the dark is coming to the light. We will celebrate. Humanity will be in touch with their divinity and their spirituality again. There will be restoration.
Absolutely.
And we will create the world that a lot of us have been dreaming about. One with equity for all, love for all, and where everyone is provided for and taken care of.
Yeah, and you know, we're seeing the downfall on macro scale of deception and destructive people, narcissistic behavior, evil having to pay the piper, so to say. But on a micro level, perhaps there's somebody similar in your life, or you can know of somebody on a micro scale, and their time is coming too. That deception that they did in the dark, that they covered up, well, somebody is going to be shining a flashlight on it, and it's going to be revealed.
The karmic bill is due. Time's up.
And so this goes into your own personal life too. If this resonates for you, if there is a situation that you have been dealing with where somebody has been deceptive and has caused harm, well, that's going to be resolved too. And this situation that we're witnessing is a symbol on a macro level of what is happening in our own personal lives, because we are in the rise of the divine feminine, and the reign of the divine feminine is upon us. We are coming up very quickly to it. We are in the end of an era, and we will be entering a new one.
Absolutely. With liberty and justice
for all. So hold the light. I will be here as a lighthouse keeper, like I have been this whole time. My light will keep your light shining. It will help you reach shore. So with that, peace be with you.